Hi everyone, welcome, and this is episode 7 of Without Borders, the podcast. Welcoming our hosts, Renata, Suzy, Megan, and I'm going to ask everyone just to say hello before we climb into tonight's episode, our topic for tonight. So, Renata, let's go with you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, and we love this project. And my name is Renata Anderson. I'm originally from Brazil, and I live in Portland, Oregon, in the U.S.
Awesome. Suzy, let's do this.
Hello, everyone. My name is Suzy. I am hosting this podcast. I'm originally from Cameroon, but I live in Kentucky. You can see the hat, guys. All about the horses here around.
Love that. Thank you, guys. And I'm Megan. I'm based in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm so glad to be with you guys. And thanks for your support, guys. We've been loving the feedback, the engagement on our podcast. So join us for tonight's episode. Today we are talking New Year's celebrations, New Year's Eve. Guys, we're there, almost at the end of this year. Woohoo! Let's do this. Let's climb into the New Year celebrations. So I'm going to ask my fellow hosts some questions about where they grew up, how they grew up doing New Year and its celebrations. So I think that's where we're going to start. Renata, when I picture Brazil, I picture big street parties, and that's all I can think about. Tell me I'm right, please.
Yeah. Well, Brazil is big. No, it depends where you are. You have different kind of party. But for me, the ones that I love most is at the beach.
Yes.
So I was raised in São Paulo, and São Paulo, when we have the holidays, we just want to go to the beach. And
Yes.
we have a lot of traffic to go to the beach, but we still go. It's worth. And then we go with our friends, family, and normally we rent a place at the beach or go to some hotel, something like that.
Yes.
And it's a big party because everybody wear white at the New Year Eve because it's like bring the peace and the good vibes for the next year. And it's we have the champagne, and oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite holidays in Brazil.
Awesome. Renata, thanks for sharing that. I love the fact that you mentioned about everyone wearing white, right? Just to bring on that nice peaceful vibe for the new year and like just step into it in the right space. And you know what you made me think about? There's something that I don't say it's a South African tradition, but some people believe that when you do the countdown to New Year's, you must step into the new year with the right foot in the proper way, in other words. And so a lot of us, when we get together, we do the countdown, and as we count down to New Year's and we shout Happy New Year, everybody will step forward with the right foot and go, I've stepped into the new year on the right footing, right? So it reminded me so much of that. And I love things like that. I think it really does help to set up a New Year's vibe for people. And Suzy, let's hear what you've got to say about how you guys do this.
So I'm from like a Christian family. So what we do is like New Year is most in church. So we go to church, it's like called the crossover, all the family all together. We go and there in church is always a celebration. I'm in the choir, so all I do is shout the whole time. Till New Year comes, it's like we sing, we shout, we wish Happy New Year at midnight to everybody. So we do the countdown 10 till 1 and wish Happy New Year. Everybody hugs themselves. We shout, we dance for at least 1 hour to like 1 a.m. Then we go back home. And once we go back home, our family, what we used to do is that we always have a party on the 31st. That's the party we always have with our whole friends, neighbors. So we have a list, inviting list, special guests party every 31st of December. So it's always a big thing. So we keep our money the whole year just to have that party at the end of the year. So it's good. We drink, we dance, happy. Then get up on the 31st around like 1 p.m. because everybody's tired, and and because we must have a family dinner on the 1st of January. So we gather around 2 p.m., wake up anybody and eat the rest of the food in the family. So that is it. That's for me.
Oh, love that. I like the fact that the drinks, the partying, the food, the family, the church going, it's all being taken care of in the same space, right? And you're just going to your new year with all of these things sitting in place in your life, in your world. I love that. Um,
Yes.
from my perspective, I think also just in South Africa, to really, like Renata mentioned, it depends on where you are and what your culture, your traditions are. But for me, I think one of the biggest things that normally happens here, same like with Suzy, what she was mentioning, the friends and the family gathering, the food, the drinks, the music, the partying together, and just being with the people you really want to be stepping into that new year with. I think that's the important thing. So we've got a bit of what Renata said, going to the beach. That's important for me. So we always try and we pop out to the beach over that time, or we'll go away for that holiday period and we'll be at the beach. And these beach parties and street parties and that kind of thing, they're so much fun. They're so much fun. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions and figure out how things happen in your spaces, right, guys? So what are the three things, and I'm going to start with Renata again. What are the three things that make New Year's Eve special for you personally? So the three things, no matter where you are, who you're with, that you need to make your New Year's Eve work.
Wow. First of all, I love that. That's my, as I said, it's my favorite holidays because
Yes.
I think New Year's brings some hope. Like it's a little bit nostalgic because you have to say bye bye to the old year, but you're there to welcome the new one. So that's fresh and new. It's like I love this idea. And when we spend at the beach, um, with some friends, a lot of people just wait until the first sunrise to say,
Yes.
"Oh, this is the first sun of the year." So we have party all night, and some people bring flowers and candies to the beach, and also we jump 7 waves at midnight because it's going to bring you lucky, and eat
Wow.
grapes, eat lentils. Oh, Brazilians do a lot of things the New Year's. So yeah, and you have to give the first kiss of the year too. So it's a lot to do, but
It's
it's fun. I love it.
That
Yeah.
sounds great, Renata. I like the fact that there are all these little traditions that you guys build into those few hours. And I know I'm also nostalgic about things. So for me, it's important when all of these little things get brought together because that's how you feel this space is distinguished from a different time of year or a different celebration, right? Because each one has got its little special moments built into it. So I love that. And I especially love the 7 waves. I love, I've been to a New Year's Eve party where we also partied through the night and ended up jumping into the swimming pool at midnight, all of us, dressed as we were, whatever, in the swimming pool. And we actually stayed there until the sun rose like 5 hours later. So that was awesome. So I get that. Susie, how about you?
Um, so the three things that makes New Year for me is family. Family first. I think that's what
Yes.
makes it beautiful. Is that you, as you said earlier, you see the year with the people you love and the people you really want
Yes.
to be there with. And the next thing is New Year, the shouting and the music and the countdown and the messages. So since I'm not with family, what we do a video call at midnight. So called the
Okay.
family group. We do that video call. Everybody shout Happy New Year. Then we off the video call because everybody's going to party and everything. They're just like Happy New Year. Love you guys. Bye. We got this. that is very lovely. That really makes New Year for me when you have that call with them. And also, what the third thing is the food. I really like to talk about the food. It's like you get to a New Year celebration all night. That all night party is it really? I think it really brings you that joy of entering the New Year in a certain joy, in certain mindset of joy and leaving all my stress back in the previous year. And we also have that tradition in the family that you don't enter the year. I remember I talked about this. You don't enter the year with grief or with how can I say, being angry with somebody. So what we used to do, we used to go to my father's bar and literally steal his drink because my father has a bar at home, like so we take his drink. And when he noticed how we are like, shh, we don't enter the year with. Forget you, forgive. It happened in 2024. Now we're in 2025. Please forgive and forget. This is a new year.
Yes.
Things like that. That was just so fun.
Yes, love that. And I agree with you, Susie. The food, the music combination, again, the people, the family, the friends. It just, I think it's the ideal way for me too. When I think of the three things that make it significant for me, it's definitely the friends and the family. The music has to be there. And for me, if I could be on a beach, in the swimming pool, just having the ball of, ball of a time of my life, just relaxing, chilling, like Susie said, and just finding your way into that space in a really good way. That's all I ask. I don't have to have lots of food. I don't have to have lots of drink, but the music has to be there. And I want the water or the ocean right there. That's important for me. Because I think the water and the ocean or the cleansing part, and I think I get that with Renata as well. Just washing off that old year and celebrating the new year coming in.
Yes,
Okay.
I also wanted to add something on it. Some
Yeah.
tradition we do actually in the new year that we have in our family, it makes you want to carry on to your next generation, to your next family, because uh those tradition made you so happy and you want the society is changing and the community is no more really a thing, but you still want your children to have that community. So like having those, not having a party every 31st, which is surely something I would do always, but but also that tradition of like forgiving and not
Yeah.
entering the year with that um with what you had last year. You say this is a new year, I come with a new energy, with a blank canvas, ready to paint or
I,
what I want for this year, not taking anything with me that is
yeah.
bad for the next year.
I love that.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's really a good way of passing on the traditions that you want to last, right? That that works for me. And then I'm going to ask each of you, what is your favorite memory of a New Year celebration? So this could be like over the years, guys. Some of us have more years to pick from than others. I won't mention names, but what is your favorite memory of a New Year's Eve where you can still sit today and go, you know what, that was a classic celebration. That one is still sitting up here. So I'm going to go with Susie this time. Let's start with you.
Hey, okay. So I favorite. So it was when I think it was when it was like 7 years ago when all my family was still all together in the house. It's just the fact that we always keep our money for the 31st to have that huge celebration, and we always had that we literally run go to church and then run back once it's the priest. Oh, the pastor say amen, we are nowhere to be found. We just run back to the house just for the party to get it started. It was just so fun. I think that same memory keeps in my head. That joy is still there over and over and over again. I think that's it.
I love that. Love that. Thank you for sharing that, Susie. Renata, how about you?
Wow. For me, the best New Year's is when it's summer, because now that I live in the US and I'm going to my 8 or 9 New Year here in the US, it's dark, it's cold, you cannot wear white. So I miss that, that this, people in Brazil are tan, because we spend already some days at the beach, in the sun. So with the white dresses and they hug each other, even if they don't know, like they just look and hug and say, hey, Happy New Year's, Happy New Year's. So we don't mind that we don't know the people. So
Right.
that's the funny thing about you. And one thing that I don't like in New Year's is the fireworks. I know
Right.
a lot of people love that, but I am an animal lover and I don't like all those noises. And so this is something that it's not in my heart, I can say. But I miss the warm and hot weather for New Year. Yeah.
Yes.
So here is more indoors New Year.
Yes.
Yes.
So outside is not a good place to be.
It's not a place to be. It's not a place you wish you could be.
Yeah.
Guys, I get that completely. I'm not sure if I'm willing to do a snowed in or really cold Christmas, New Year celebration. I really don't think that's going to befit me, because I love my barefoot walking on the beach, just like Renata said, just that freedom to be on the beach and be yourself. And that's what I enjoy. So I'm not sure but what I will do this year is I will celebrate for you in Cape Town, because of course we're having our summer right now. So I'll be thinking of you guys and I'll be celebrating for you in the heat, right? How about
Yes,
that?
we can do that. Definitely.
Awesome. And then I want to jump back quickly. So Renata mentioned something right now, and Suzy mentioned something in her previous part of the conversation. So Renata, I want to touch on the fireworks with you. And Suzy, the midnight family phone call, the video call, where you all just wish one another jump onto the same call. So Suzy, we've always had this thing where people are sending one another messages on voice notes, and the family you can't be with, the friends you can't be with, you're phoning them and trying to get through. But over the last few years, the networks have become so congested. People are sending New Year's messages from New Year's Eve morning already, right? If not before, because they're just afraid they're not going to be able to connect with the people within that hour around midnight as the New Year switches over. So that's something that's always been with us as well, as far as I can remember, but it's evolved to the point where people are waking up on New Year's Eve and starting to send messages to loved ones, because they're just afraid that the networks are not going to allow them to connect during that time. So I'm not sure if that is where you guys find things in your space, but that's definitely something I've noticed here. And then Renata, in terms of the fireworks, huge culture for fireworks that I grew up in South Africa as well. And I think people have become a lot more conscious about the effect of the fireworks, especially on the animals. It's still a big thing, unfortunately, in a lot of areas. And I know one of the best New Year celebrations that I remember was being away on the west coast of Cape Town at a beautiful little seaside village. And the place we were living with, the people we were living with, had a 3-story house. And they've got a barbecue pit and everything on the top. So we did what we call a braai, prepared some meat and had some drinks right on the top level. And it was a beautiful night. And in the neighboring town, they had a huge fireworks display, which always happens. And we could see all across the bay, right into that area we were there. They were launching and celebrating with the fireworks. And it was one of the most spectacular New Year's Eves and New Year's that I've celebrated, purely because I had everything around me that I wanted around me, but there was this beautiful display of fireworks that we could sit and watch for hours. Although it was so far away from us, we could see it all across the bay, across the water, into the neighboring town. But I hear you, and I think, like I said, people are becoming so much more conscious of the effects of fireworks. And so I do think on some level it's dying out, although it's going to take a lot more, I think, of lobbying against it for people to realize that maybe this shouldn't be a huge part of things going forward. What do you think?
Yeah,
So
I don't
from
like that.
like definitely I don't like that.
And here in the US, some states, you're not allowed to do it because it's a risk of fire. And yeah, so sometimes an accident happens. I don't
Yes.
know. I don't like this. But
Yes.
I respect too. Yeah.
I love fireworks definitely, and I do like it. I don't like to be close to it, but I do love viewing it, and it has an effect on the ecosystem in general. We are getting
Yes.
there. With the
Yes.
point where we can like it and not have it. But we are
I
getting there.
think.
And for the messages, the network issue, I think it was something we might be concerned home when I was in Cameroon. But here it's like New Year there is 6 p.m. here. It's not yet New Year my time. So I celebrate New Year, I wish Happy New Year, and I shouting, and they go do their things, and I wait for my New Year and wish to myself Happy New Year again.
There we go.
Days with,
Okay.
with friends that are outside in the US. So we like the different times zone. But I
Yes.
don't think we have network issues now. I don't have. Maybe they have there.
Okay. Well, that's good to know that despite the fact that you're not with your family at the moment, you're still able to connect at that really important time,
6
right?
p.m. Everybody online. They just do video calls in the group chat. When you do video calls, it goes to everybody, and everybody just comes on and say Happy New Year. Bye.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's very
I
fun.
love that. That is too cute.
Yeah.
Uh, Suzy, I also love fireworks. Coming back to the previous point, and what's been happening more and more over the last few years in South Africa and the areas around us, is they've actually been delegating areas that are approved for fireworks. So it would be places like certain beaches. And so people know upfront that that area has been zoned off for fireworks for that evening, right? And the pet owners in the area, people coming to watch the fireworks and experience that, they are forewarned, and so they know they can make an alternative plan with their kids, the young kids that might not like the fireworks, their pets, etc. But also in other areas, local sports fields. And so they don't allow everyone into one space that is not predetermined. So they've got a lot of the safety aspects in place. And so it's a little more controlled, or a lot better controlled than it used to be, random people just running down the street with fireworks. So hopefully we will meet one another halfway on that. And the people that are lobbying against it can see, though, those efforts being made to really address the issues that come with it, because Cape Town being in the summer season right now and moving towards February, that's our hottest season. This is our time for wildfires, mountain fires, and we are surrounded by mountains, guys. We've got so much greenery and shrubbery and trees, etc. around us. This is a really terrible time for us in terms of fires, and wind. So the fireworks and the wind obviously creates a bit of havoc, but they've done the designated areas to try and curb that. So they're trying. They are trying. The authorities are trying, and it would be nice if more people actually bought into it in terms of abiding to the different areas that are designated. But we're getting there. We're
Mm-hmm.
getting there. Yeah. Okay, so I've got another question for you guys. So, are you prepared to share with us what you're planning to do with your New Year's celebration? So, what are you planning right now? What's New Year's going to look like for you, Suzy?
Hey. Also, I was hoping that you don't start with me, but yeah, New Year.
You had that look in your eyes, like, don't start with
I
me.
was like,
Like,
please don't start with me with it. And I'm here. So I think for me it will be I will be with friends this New Year's. I think I'll be there for the whole New Year thing. You know, in the US we don't it's not good to celebrate New Year by yourself. I feel like when people think that you're by yourself, they think you're depressed and you need help rescued. So I am not celebrating by myself. I am celebrating with some friends, and it would be like I think I'll plan to go to church. And after church service, because I really want to still have that atmosphere here. And after the church
yes,
service, we just maybe go and be with their family, just be together and just Happy New Year and have a family call, of course, at 6 p.m. on the 31st. Today,
yes.
and they have that family called and we say Happy New Year and Happy New Year called and all the fun of it, and I would just have text the whole time Happy New Year to people. I think that's it.
Love it. Renata, how about you? What are you planning?
Well, as I am in Portland, we are 5 hours behind São Paulo. So for my friends, it's and my family, it's 5 hours, so it's a lot. And so I'm going to celebrate a little bit in the Zoom meetings with my friends and family, and prepare myself to a winter New Year here in Portland. And my idea is to be. I'm so grateful for 2024 that I wanna bring this reflection to my new year and be really open and in contact with this energy to welcome 2025. That I'm so happy that and excited for this new year that's coming. So I don't have big plans, but I have big wishes.
Love that. Thank
That's
you for
definitely
sharing.
true.
Love that. And then from my perspective, for the last few years, we've pretty much been indoors New Year's because the worst thing about New Year's Eve, especially, is being on the road. You know, everything is jam packed. And I mean, Renata mentioned that driving for hours to get to the beach, and that's what traffic looks like. So we've opted to stay indoors for a few years now. But I'm looking forward to some really good people, lots of great company, good music, good drinks, and hopefully a jump in the swimming pool at midnight. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. And guys, before we wrap up, um, thank you for the part of the year that you guys have spent with us, and thanking each of my hosts, wishing you a wonderful New Year celebration. And then I'm going to ask each of you just give me one thing that 2025 is holding for you. What are you looking forward to in your new year? One thing. Suzy, go ahead.
So the launching of my book, very helpful for that, and also
Woo!
a year full of joy, less stress. But I'm looking for a year full of joy and less stress. I precise that.
Love that. Well spoken, Suzy. Less stress, lots more
Yes.
joy. Love it. Renata, how about you?
Well, I'm looking for new experience and challenge myself. So 2024, I challenged my body. I've been doing yoga every day. That was a beautiful thing that I interject in my life. And now, I want to continue doing these things and taking care of myself. Yeah, in this journey. Yeah.
Wonderful. May those dreams come true, ladies. And then from my perspective, it's just about, for me, I want 2025 to be that year where everything that I've been working on and with and for over the last 4 years in this business comes together, because that's what it's feeling like right now. And that's what I'm working towards. And so I want that magical 2025 to just bring everything together. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So, guys, please join us on this episode. Enjoy your New Year celebrations. Be safe out there. And please subscribe, like, share, engage, drop us your messages, and we'll happily chat back to you. Thanks for watching World Without Borders in 2024.
And happy
Happy
2025. Bye.
2025, guys.
We're crossing oceans, crossing skies, lifting each other as we rise. No more limits, no more walls. Together we answer the world's calls. World without borders, we are free, telling the stories of humanity. No more divide, we stand as one. Together, together, our journey's begun.